No, yeah. 1 minute.
Be less. Most meetings. Reading the base of You what? Oh, you
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
This way.
I
Pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Is there anyone here tonight that has a question, an issue, or a concern they'd like to address with this board that is not on tonight's agenda? Sir, Mr. Bogdan.
Just have a comment, earlier this year. Town board, changed my, fire district. From the village to the town of DeWitt.
Yes.
At the time, I didn't think much of it. Till I attended the budget hearing for the town of DeWitt Fire District. And, without a vote, of course, they authorized an increase in the budget of 80%. Which, considering my assessed value, the fourth time it's been assessed in the last 4 years, will go up well over $300. I don't know what to say after that. I mean, I wish we had had a vote on that. I was with the village fire district for over 35 years. No problems. This is gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt. And that over $300 increase says no assessed value increase next year, which I'm not betting money that they're gonna be 5 years in a row.
My only response to that, sir, is that we've had a long-standing contract with the village. The proposed village budget for last year would have been $1.67 per thousand. So your last year's bill would have went up 67%. Had we remained with the village, and the village informed us that they were moving to a paid fire department over a 4 to 5 year window, of which your cost would have increased as significant or more than what you're interpreting as an increase right now. But the current rate for 2026 at $1.50 per thousand is still 17 cents per thousand cheaper than the money we would have spent with the village contract last year. And again, the village had told us they're moving to a paid department, so that would have increased in 2026 and beyond. The difference is you now have a paid fire department. That decision that this town board took affected over 20,000 people in the town of DeWitt. And those 20,000 have, again, a paid fire department, very much similar to a paid fire department of the city of Syracuse. And they don't have to go to bed tonight and worry about someone responding when that call occurs. But this board not only made what I believe was the best financial decision, but the best decision for safety and the benefit of our residents.
Thank you for that explanation, man.
Okay, I have another concern. I wanted to ask you, while you're talking about the topic of the fire department, what I wanted to find out is there's communication out there of response time. Now, my concern is I'm on the corner of Janesville, Randall Road, and so the response time from what they're saying at our department on the corner is not gonna affect the whole village of DeWitt as a whole, but it wasn't explained to me properly. So my question, long story short, is the response time on that Janesville, cause he got it broken down, we said from Janesville and Randall Road is one, and then Janesville is another department, so I'm confused in clarification of
You're
what.
within the DeWitt Fire District and it would be less than minutes for that
Correct.
department to respond from the Genesee Street station to your house.
Correct,
They'd be there very quickly. The entire district is covered currently now through 2 stations. I did see some feeds on the news that was
Mhm.
incorrect in its assumption that people would be responding from the DeWitt Fire Department from only the station on Genesee Street. They have the station in Sanders Creek as well. And therefore, the entire North Town would be covered from those 2 stations. And again, as Mr. Bogdan said, the East Syracuse Volunteer Fire Department has done a phenomenal job for over 100 years. But the response times coming out of DeWitt for the past 5 years are better than the response times coming out of the East Syracuse Fire Department.
and why do they differ?
Because they're different departments.
Okay, although they all in the town of DeWitt.
Yes. There's actually 3 departments inside the town of DeWitt. There's a village department now, the East Syracuse Village has its own. Then there's the North Town, which is the DeWitt Fire Department and its central home base department. And then there's a Janesville Fire District that occurs in the town's southern section and goes beyond. The Janesville Fire Department responds into the town of Lafayette and Pompey.
Second question I wanted to ask you, but I just spoke to Rocco about my home on the corner of Janesville, Randall Road. There's a crack out there and we discussed this, and I know it's a county road. And I don't feel that the town of DeWitt should be taking care of county projects. I showed him a picture that I took on the phone today and we discussed it. So I'm just wondering as far as who's gonna make a move as far as the county and the Janesville
contact the
being
county.
responsible.
We could contact the county. I'm after them right now to paint some stripes on their road. Because we have an elderly population that lives in Nottingham and at night they're telling me they can't find the turning lanes off of Jamesville Road and to Nottingham Road. So we'll pass along your concern, but we have no legal authority or the right to go into a county road and perform.
Well, I understand that. I'm just saying for the past couple of years,
Yeah.
our town have been responsible in taking care of the concerns, and Rocco has been addressing it with his guys and staff. And I'm just asking about.
Okay, all right. And we'll continue to do what we can.
Okay, and then I have another one. Third
All right, I
concern.
gotta move to.
All right, but hold on 1 second.
I'd be more than
Ed.
happy to talk to you offline.
Well, no, this got to do with the election. What I wanted to say is that there needs to be more information as far as election, because people in the community did not know exactly who was running. We didn't know how to choose 3 to 4 people of the election. So I'm just saying, going forward, there needs to be more presentation of how to elect and navigate the election. So,
That's a comment again that you,
well, Max is right there, so it's a part of that, so I'm just
Yeah.
addressing it on the record.
okay, all right.
I appreciate that, thank you.
Now,
Okay.
move on.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Scott.
All right, so I'm gonna ask the clerk to take the roll
Supervisor Michael Lenko,
here.
Counselors Mannion,
Here.
Chiarenza,
Here.
Ruckdeschel,
Here.
Clee Hood. Here. Alex.
Here. Okay, anyways, we have a 6:05 public hearing on a preliminary budget. I'm gonna turn it over to the budget committee, but I just wanna thank them and congratulate them on a great preparation of the budget. Overall, this budget is a 3% decrease over spending of last year. 3% in tax increase. So again, if you look closely at your tax bill, despite the increase in assessment, the budget of this governing body is not significantly increased. And if all things are equal, that is, assessments have generally increased across the entire town, your tax bill and the contribution you make to the town should not significantly increase. It's only when those other taxing bodies combine increases in their tax budget, which then translates into their tax rate. So our tax rate should be coming down accordingly, proportional to the increase in assessment along with a decrease in the overall budget. So again, congratulations and thank you to the great job by our comptroller and the budget committee. If you want to make that preliminary budget presentation, please do. There's still time for review on this board to impose some changes.
I gotta read the public hearing notice.
Yeah.
Notice is hereby given that the preliminary budget of the town of DeWitt for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2026 has been completed and filed in the office of the town clerk at 5400 Butternut Drive, DeWitt, New York, where it is available for inspection by any interested person during regular office hours. Said budget includes proposed special improvement district budgets. Further notice is hereby given that the town board of the town of DeWitt will meet and review said preliminary budget together with the proposed special improvement district budgets for all water, refuse, sanitary sewer, storm sewer, drainage, fire protection, street lighting, and other special districts, and hold a public hearing thereon at the town of DeWitt offices 5400 Butternut Drive and simultaneously via Zoom webinar at 6:05 PM on the 27th day of October, and that at such hearing, any person may be heard in favor of or against the preliminary budget as compiled or for or against any item or items herein contained. Pursuant to section 108 of the town law, the proposed salaries of the following town officers are hereby specified as follows. Town supervisor, 63,800. Counselors, 6 each, 20,900. Deputy supervisor, 3,300. Town clerk, $73,736. Town highway superintendent, $107, $107,350. Sorry. Judges, 2 each at $48,950. By order of the town board, this was published in the Post Standard on October 16th, 2025.
Okay.
This is the 2026 preliminary budget. The general fund is the fund where all transactions are recorded unless the state, the law states otherwise. General fund can be broken down further to a Fund A and a Fund B. Fund A is town-wide, which means all the costs associated with this fund are applicable to all town taxpayers, so this includes the village. Fund A is made up of following departments: town board, court, supervisor, comptroller, tax receiver, assessor, town clerk, town attorney, town building, police and special patrol officers, dog control, highway garage, and parks. If a town has an active village, there is a separate general fund called Part Town. This is Fund B. These costs are charged to only taxpayers living outside of the village of East Syracuse. There's also a highway fund that is considered Part Town. This includes road repairs, paving, snow removal, and vehicle maintenance. Fund B is recreation, planning and zoning, and DACC. Special districts are costs that are paid by those property owners who directly receive the benefit of that district. The 26 special districts include the ambulance district, which provides ambulance services to those in the northern part of DeWitt and the village of East Syracuse. Trash and refuse, which are costs associated with trash collection in the town, and rates are based on the level of service the homeowner chooses and the contract price with the trash hauler. There's capital projects. That's where if you have a special project going on, those are where the costs are captured. Drainage districts are the costs related to maintaining drainage basins throughout the town. The lighting district covers the costs associated with street lighting. Sewer includes the cost of maintaining and repairing sewers in the town, and the water district covers the cost to maintain, repair, and provide water services to town residents. So this slide is the 2026 revenue sources for funds A, B, and DB. there are three sources of revenues that pay for budgeted expenditures. Number one is property taxes, two appropriated fund balances, and three other income, which can include usage charges, fees, permits, interest income, department incomes, grants, and or state and federal aid. The total revenue for the general fund, part town and townwide, and highway fund are 25,082,902, which is an increase of 1.4 million. The significant portion of that increase is 513,000, which is going to come from the fund balance. 308,000 from permits, 308,000 from interest earnings, and 200,000 from room occupancy tax / adult use cannabis. It's important to point out that the preliminary budget reflects a $300,000 decrease from last year, or a 3% increase in the property taxes among those funds. And property taxes make up 60% of all of those revenues. Next slide is the 2026 expenditures for funds A, B, and DB. Total expenditures for townwide, part town, and highway are 25,082,902. The increases are associated with health insurance premiums increasing. There was an 18% increase in premiums for employees and 35% increase in premiums for Medicare rates. We've seen a large increase in New York State employer contribution rates. Normal contract rate increases for employees, and our debt service increases. This just breaks down all the different departments and costs associated with those funds. Our highway, police, and health insurance and employee benefits make up 76% of all of those costs. This slide shows all of the expenditures for the entire budget, including the special districts. Total expenditures are $35,760,040, and these are broken down by each fund. The largest fund is our general fund. Next one is our water district, and the third is our highway department. This slide is the total tax levy for 2026. It's $19,177,885. It is a $1,612,000 decrease from last year, but if you remove the special district that was eliminated this year, it's in total increase of 20,800, which is less than a 1% increase. And we okay. And then the New York State property tax cap limits the amount local governments can increase their tax levy to the lower of 2% or the rate of inflation. The 2026 tax cap is limited to the 2%. Local government boards must pass a local law to override the tax cap, and the town will not be exceeding the tax cap in 2026. The proposed tax rates for A, B, and DB funds is a 12% decrease from 2025. So as you can see, the 2026 proposed rate is $2.50 per 1,000. And last year it was $2.87 per 1,000, which is a 13% decrease. And then our highway fund is also decreased 12 cents, which 2026, we are proposing $1.08 per 1,000. 2025, it was $1.20. Any questions?
Very good, thank you. Budget committee, want to add anything?
I would just add that I think this has been very responsible budget that we're putting forward this year. Not only are we decreasing the rates throughout the town in our main A and B funds, we're actually decreasing the dollar amount of taxes that are being raised. So despite increases in the assessments, Many homeowners will see a decrease in their town taxes for next year. Which is something that we worked hard to do. We made up some revenue from some other places, used some fund balance. And we're able to absorb those increasing costs that we've had for employee benefits and healthcare and whatnot. But overall, thank you very much to the rest of the budget committee and to the comptroller for this great proposal that I think we have this year.
And I would just add that, we've been meeting once or twice a month. We've had great input from our budget committee. And I also believe we have, a lot of credit goes to the department heads. And we've really got some good department heads that are working with us. We identify issues early in the year. And as we, come to our preliminary and final budget, we've been working on these issues for 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, trying to get them into a range that, we all feel is responsible, like Max said. And we've got a new police chief who really jumped in. We've probably got a stronger police force this year with not a lot of increase. Our community really feels strongly about our police force and they're a large expense. However, we have one of the safest towns. And thanks to our new chief of police, he really has worked hard. Because we argue a little bit back and forth. But he's done a nice job of bringing it together where it's a sustainable budget and just really a quality force. Same goes to Rocco in our highway department. We argue, we push back and forth, but same thing. Our highway department, there are two biggest budget items: is the police and the highway. And these guys have done everything they can. They have great ideas and they really give us a path to, okay, here's how we can reduce our rates and at the same time give people a better service. So I thank all our department heads across the board, recreation, our town clerk. Did I miss anybody?
Planning and zoning.
Planning and zoning, Alana. Our revenue under Alana has skyrocketed. I'm not gonna say specifics. I can let Carrie Fusco do that, but recreation revenues are up significantly and we're providing a better service in both of those
Clerk and
departments.
tax.
Yeah, clerk and tax,
The non-traditional revenue streams have great, sorry to jump in.
yeah.
Greatly increased and that's largely department.
And speaking to,
If I could say also, you mentioned zone planning and zoning, and the work that they have done to when it comes to codes, making sure things are done timely, and it's just creating a better business friendly climate in the town of DeWitt has been a great help. From conversations that the view has changed a great deal, which is increasing revenue, will increase revenue. And to the police, especially in the work being done that they have done to decrease and watch out for human trafficking out on the hotel area, in spite of, they've done an exceptional job in keeping things in safety the preeminent in the town of DeWitt. Thank you.
so I just wanted to say, I think a special thanks needs to go to our town clerk, Angela Polito, who through very wise investing of our tax fund monies that come through, even if they're passed through to other entities, has garnered us significant interest revenue that has made her department a net revenue rather than a cost. So thank you very much, Angela, for your hard work on that.
Thank you, Max.
Okay. Is there any comments from the audience?
I gotta say also, Parks and Rec, you did your thing, getting people to come to the evenings. And feeling engaged in events that, attendance may not have been where it once was. People are coming and are using the facilities, and it has really made the opportunity for engagement within the town and for all of the people in the town to feel a part of it better. Thank you.
I know Sarah mentioned it last week, but trunk or treat, congratulations. It was I know several people that brought their kids there and they just said it was a tremendous event. They were so happy there, and that's, when you see smiles on kids' faces, that means something's going right.
Yeah.
So thank you to the rec department for continuing that tradition, and we look forward to it again next
Yeah.
year.
Bigger and better.
Any questions, comments?
Yeah, I just have a quick comment on,
Yes, sir.
you know. I know you have fire protection district now that's been eliminated. Will that now go to the political subdivision fire district of DeWitt and be a permanent part of it?
Yes. What we did is we combined the East Syracuse and the DeWitt. The Northtown Fire Protection District was a separate district. And so the choice for the town would have been, we knew we were moving to a paid fire department. So the choice for the town is ultimately, and the world is moving to paid fire departments. I don't know if everyone's caught up with that fact yet, but volunteer rates are down. It's hard to run in an urban area a fire department that is not paid and respond to the number of calls in today's lifestyle. And so the town is at a transition stage, transition point in time, and it has to look. Is it gonna create 3 separate paid fire departments? Or is it gonna strive and work towards one? But the paid fire department's coming, and whether it happens today or tomorrow or 5 years or 10 years from now, it'll be there. And so this board chose a path that was cost effective and most expedient. We have a paid fire department today. We've had it all year long. We could have chose a more expensive path to build a parallel paid fire department in a separate district. That just didn't make sense. I hope that answers your question.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, with that, I will close the public hearing session and I will accept a motion to accept the 2026 preliminary budget. A motion from Councilor Mannion, a second from Max. We'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion's carried. Okay, we have a local updating the zoning definitions. Alana, you wanna? Oh, you gotta read the notice first, yep.
Notice is hereby given pursuant to the provisions of section 20 subdivision 5 of the New York State Municipal Home Rule Law and section 264 of the New York State Town Law that a public hearing will be held by the town board of the town of DeWitt in the county of Onondaga, state of New York, on Monday, October 27th, 2025 at 6:10 p.m. at the town offices 5400 Butternut Drive on the question of amending the town of DeWitt Town Code, chapter 192, being local law number 6 of 2008, as has previously been amended to include a modified definition of retail store and new definitions of shopping center and grocery store in section 192-14 of the DeWitt Town Code, and to remove warehousing, self-storage as a permitted use in the high-tech district in section 192-56 of the DeWitt Town Code. A copy of said proposed local law is on file at the town clerk's office, 5400 Butternut Drive, and may be examined by any interested person during regular business hours. And this was published in the Post Standard on October 16th, 2025.
Wait, thank you. Lana, you wanna use this?
Planning board has noted through matters that have appeared for site plan approval by the planning board that there are definitions that are ambiguous, do not exist, and or in conflict with other portions of the code, and also code uses that require modification. So the purpose of this legislation is just to clean up some of the definitions, some other language in the code. And we consolidated some small changes just for convenience and efficiency. So this would add 2 official uses but definitions to the code, which are grocery store and shopping center. The purpose of the grocery store is to recognize that the unique characteristics of grocery store compared to other retail uses. And the term shopping center is actually used in the code, but it's never actually defined, so we're looking to clean that up and give it a definition. Both of these uses would be allowed either through as allowed uses or as special permit uses in the business district and the business transitional district. Special business transitional district and the industrial district. And this legislation would also remove self-storage from the high-tech zoning district. This is a use that, you know, as the high-tech zoning district has evolved and developed, this use doesn't appear to be compatible with the intent of the high-tech district.
Okay. Any questions, comments from the board? Anyone in the audience have a question or? For those of you that are here for class, social studies or whatever, the code is not the Pirates Code. They're old, right? It's local laws. This body is a legislative body, and so the town board enacts laws. And so then there's separate boards. There's a town board, which is the legislative body. Then there's a planning board. And the planning board oversees the development of the town. So when a business moves in or buys a property or changes what that property is used for, it goes before the planning board. So we write the code, but the planning board enacts it when it comes to the business community. And so, as you know, DeWitt has a lot of retail stores, a lot of shopping centers and grocery stores and stuff. And so what the planning and zoning department and the planning board are doing is trying to clarify the definitions of those different items in our code. Because some of our code goes all the way back to, let's say, 1960. So it's been around a while, we've updated it, we've had comprehensive plans, but it's a constantly evolving document and we're constantly changing laws. So that's what we're doing right now. We have a public hearing regarding these changes. So you are public and you ask questions about it.
Yeah, I have a question for you, Alana. Why is it that the self-storage the only thing we're removing from high tech?
So we're not really sure how it got in there, but you know, high tech is mostly I mean, exactly like it sounds, it's high tech uses, and self-storage doesn't really seem compatible with the type of development that we've been getting and that we're looking for in those areas.
I'm not crazy about it, but I think when we redid the rezone to high tech, there's a large swath of land that's high tech, and I personally feel there might be some areas in high tech that are suitable for self-storage.
You need 3 more votes.
I don't think I'm getting it.
Any other comments? With that, I'll close the public hearing. Do we? Yeah, we have done this today. All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve. Max, a second from Sarah. Any comments? No? I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed.
So, abstains, abstentions, motion's carried. See, you've got to see democracy. Okay, next on the agenda is the Lemoyne Water Project update.
Yes, thank you. And I just wanted to let everybody on the board know and the community as well that the Des Moines Board of Trustees approved a resolution to negotiate an arrangement with the town for the completion of a water tank on their property and the necessary mains running through their property to serve the tank and the surrounding neighborhoods, including Springfield Gardens, to improve water availability and quality in that area. So now it is incumbent on us to finalize the details of that project, secure funding, and negotiate that arrangement with Lemoyne College.
And it might have been presumptuous of me, but then once I heard that news, I add it to tonight's agenda, the cost and hopefully the authorization of the full design. To date, we have authorized the survey. So in the packet, you'll see that the price here of the work. But this would authorize the town engineer to perform the design, and it's itemized here, at $207,200.
And this is a necessary project that we need to modernize our water system and keep it going, for the next 100 years. And there have been consistent water availability issues, low water pressure issues in the surrounding area. And with hopefully the redevelopment of the Shopping Town property and more development on Erie Boulevard, this will also be able to serve the needs of that area with water as well. So this is a project that we really need as a town. So we're looking for approval, I would agree, tonight for an approval to pay for the engineers to finalize the plan. I would also ask for approval to have the town lawyer negotiate an agreement with Lemoyne for the location.
Max, when you said to pay for the engineers, Lemoyne's partnership or support to that payment or is it totally the town?
So they have engineers on their side that they're paying for some of it. This is for our Miller engineers to do our side.
Okay, got
Yes.
it. Okay, thank you.
And then in the end, they'll be a client, or they will purchase water from town of DeWitt.
Right.
Their usage. Right now, the Lemoyne campus borders the city and DeWitt. And so they have the ability to bring water in from the city and from the town of DeWitt. And so if we are to feed Lemoyne water, we have to make sure we have enough in reserve to feed the Erie Boulevard area and where the new Chick-fil-A is and all those flat areas down from the hill. And so this tank and the water improvements of getting water there give us flexibility too. We purchase water from Aqua, the Onondaga County Water Authority, and from the city. And this will give us the flexibility to move water around our district and also supply water to Lemoyne.
Would it improve the pressure coming up,
Yes.
Russell, from
Fire flow and pressure, yeah.
Yeah, it'd also be a big upgrade. What, do we have a rough estimate what the hard costs are gonna be?
Not quite, where it's probably ballpark right now, about $5 million. We are part of the approval tonight, and Lemoyne's approval is to show our dedication to the project. And so we're gonna go out to New York State specifically for funding sources
Excellent.
to be able to pay for this.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
and will it be on Lemoyne property exclusively?
All of the improvements that we are doing are going to be on Lemoyne property, yes.
I do have one question, and it's for future programming and capital improvement projects. And when you write this up in the notes, how would you title it when we agree to fund the engineering report?
How I have it right now is to, and I can change it.
Yeah,
however.
that's what I want to make sure.
Which I had questions, so anybody can have me change whatever. Authorize Miller Engineers complete design of water improvements. 7-10 feet pressure zone improvements, and I put the PWS to include addition of water storage at Lemoyne College at a cost not to exceed $207,200.
Can we tighten it up and maybe make it a little more general? The reason being, we're going to use this as a self-fund potentially for future grant developments as we work through multiple water projects in the next 5 years.
Yeah, you can you can change whatever motions you guys want and I will remove or add whatever.
Thank you.
Great. Point. Okay, I will entertain a motion authorized from Max, second from Sarah. I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion's carried. Okay, town board minutes of October 13th. I entertain a motion from Carrie, a second from Bernard. Any discussion? I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion's carried. I'll entertain a motion, accept the check registries from September through October. Motion from Carrie, a second for Bernard. Any discussion? I'll
And
call.
Jack.
We all-
Yeah, there can be.
The check registries are a listing that the comptroller's office provides this board of all the expenditures that have been made over a period of time. So the board has in their possession right now check expenditures that have been written since September through October. Okay, so I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion's carried. Any town board updates?
Yes. I'd say thank you to particularly Carrie and Alana and Gary for your support with the residents of Springfield Garden. Monday, I received a call from a resident that was just at their wits' end because their stove not working. And so I sent an email to the owner, and within a matter of minutes, he called me. I was out of town. And because of the relationship that has been built, he's covering her out of pocket of having to buy food or get food because her stove wasn't working. New stove being given, the contractor who has been identified is going to be doing the renovations, giving her choice of what she would do for all of the residents of which cabinetry they would like, what their bathrooms would look like. Things are really progressing. And I wanted to say openly that the board, I appreciate everyone's support and the advocacy for the residents of Springfield Gardens, because I know that if it had not been building a good rapport with them, things could, it could remain acrimonious, but it is really beneficial. And for her to get a turnaround in such a positive way will do a lot to just build trust and relationship with them going forward. So thank you all.
Well said, Bernard. And again, I think that speaks to our strong department heads, Derek here, our strong code enforcement officer,
Yes.
the rapport that we've developed. It's taken a while. It's not been a quick process. However, so, we can say 1 year or a year and a half since we've been pushing this, that we're definitely in a better place. And I think it's only gonna get better. But thank you, Bernard, for all your efforts.
Thank you. Hey, any other updates? I just have two real quick ones. If you haven't swung by Carrier Park lately, swing by there. The construction's coming, the turf fields complex has been put in place, the center building, things are coming together real well. We still have some issues to work with in terms of traffic control and controlled parking. We should be executing an agreement with Carrier for the donation of 3.5 acres, of which we're looking to expand our parking. We still have, because the complex is almost ready for use, 2026 will come on us real quickly. We're gonna have to work with existing groups to take on concessions. So that's on my agenda, hopefully to complete before the end of the year. The other construction project that if you haven't seen, swing by the firehouse, now the community room. in Jamesville. That construction's coming real well. Here in Town Hall, the same dilemma is facing us that's facing the Jamesville Community Room, and that there's a back order on glass community windows, and so we're waiting here to install on our three major construction projects glass. So we should have the glass for the counters coming in hopefully soon, glass for the Jamesville Fire house, or former firehouse, future community center. And then we got Carrier Park. So if you haven't had a chance to see any of these, things are really wrapping up and construction season's rapidly coming to an end. That's all I have for updates. Is there anything else? Anyone have any questions out of the audience? All right, with that, we have to go into what's called an executive session. Talk about personnel issues that we can't name people in public. Then we have contracting issues, and then the town is always faced with litigation issues where we're being sued or having a potential for a legal battle. So those are the types of things we don't talk about in public. It's usually personnel, contracting, and or litigation. So with that, I want to thank you for coming tonight. If you need a signature, any one of the board members.
Do we have a motion for executive session?
Yeah, I'll have a motion to enter executive session from Joe. From Bernard. All in favor?
Aye.
Oh.